Welcome back to another video. I'm Melissa. If you're new here, I am going to be doing a little bit of a December reset today. I had a terrible day yesterday and I was determined to make today better, and so I'm just going to do a reset for the month. I'm going to hopefully work on some Christmas crafts and just try to kind of get myself back on track and in a better place mentally and physically. I've been really stressed lately, and so it's doing a number on my pppd and migraines. So I'm definitely not feeling the best today thanks to the stress of lately and yesterday. So I'm just going to take care of myself today and do the little reset. I've been up for a while now. I just sat down and I was doing my Bible study. I have been doing this one through Bible Study Fellowship. This is the book. They're a really great resource. You can literally go on their website and join a Bible study online or in person completely free. If you choose to buy the book, you have to pay for that, but you can get the material all online. I just prefer a physical copy because I can't be on screen at the time. So I've been really enjoying that. This started in September and I've been doing it ever since. So I just was doing that. I really have been trying to prioritize my mornings for the last few months now, just to kind of get in the right headspace. I don't use my phone really at all until like 11 o'clock. I have it set, it's all blocked with the Halo app. And so unfortunately I don't have a camera, so I am using my phone to film this, but I'm not like looking at it, so that doesn't count. But anyway, so I am just gonna finish up my Bible study and then we'll get today started. Once I finish up my Bible study, I'm going to do some breath work. That has been something that I've kind of let fall to the wayside, and it helps me so much when I was doing it regularly. So I'm going to do that today. Then we're going to get into the reset. So I like to do a whole bunch of things. I put a little to-do list together of everything I want to get done. I clean through stuff on my phone, my computer, I water my plants, I get my bullet journal set for the new month and set my new goals. So I'm going to be taking you with me today through all those things. I'm just sitting here on the floor eating my toast. This is unfortunately my lunch. My head is really getting to me. I don't have an appetite, and sometimes I have to just eat whatever one thing I can stomach. And so today it's a cashew butter and grape jelly toast. I'm sitting on the floor because of the sun. Oh my gosh, the sun, it feels so good. It's gonna be a long winter. It is literally December 1st today, and I am already just like losing it. The short days, it's freezing cold, and if you were here for last year, you know that I am a seasonal depression girl. And let me tell you, it's like November 1st, there's like this switch, and it just hits. And so it has been hitting hard, and so I'm doing my best to get through it, but if you have that too, you're not alone. Next on the agenda is going to be finishing up my bullet journal for December and figuring out like what my habits and goals are going to be for the month. So I'm going to sit down and do that now. First of all, how is it December? I don't know where the time goes, where this year went. It's weird because ever since I got my chronic illness, time has been this really strange thing for me. I have no concept of time anymore. Because I've been so in like one spot for the last 3 years, I just like I don't know, like every day is the same, kind of, and so I kind of feel lost. And they all run together. It's like really, it goes by so slow, but yet I look back and I see how like it's already, but then it feels so fast at the same time. And it's such a strange thing that I can't even begin to explain. But I've been really struggling lately with the grief of lost time. And if you have had something like this or a time in your life that you felt like you kind of lost, I'm so sorry. I just sit around a lot and like think about how I lost 3 years of my life And I know I shouldn't view it that way. I know that I should view it as that it was something in it. It was necessary for me to go through this time. And I'm still trying to figure out why that is. But I truly believe that there is some reason that I was supposed to, and try not to focus too much on the time that was lost and instead focus on like everything that I've learned in this time. I'm distracted because the mailman's on the road and I know I have a package coming. Anyway, that's my little uncalled for rant about time passing and the grief of time passing. So anyway, I got most of my bullet journal done yesterday. I can't say I'm very pleased with it. You know, it's really hard when you go on Pinterest and you see all of these picture perfect bullet journals, and I'm an artsy, crafty person, but I cannot draw to save my life. And so you go on there and you see like all these stunning things that look like pieces of artwork, and then you do your own and you're like, this is not how I envisioned it. But making the most of it. So I'm going to show you what I have so far, and then I'm going to add in my habit page. That's what I need to finish. This is my little intro page, whatever you want to call it. Just little Christmassy things. And then I always do a calendar page next, which I did this little Christmas tree with a string of lights. As you can see, I cannot draw, but I do my best. There have been some months that I have surprised myself, and it came out better than I thought they would. This month, not so much. I don't really have a ton of pages that I make every month. I have a very basic system. I'm actually thinking next year of making it a little bit more complex and detailed than I have now, but I have the full calendar page. I actually primarily track my migraine days on this because throughout the year I've tracked them all and gotten to see like actually the days of migraines go down throughout the year, so I'm really glad I tracked it. But I track other things on here too, but of course you can do whatever works for you. But that's just what I do. Next up, I have the page I need to actually finish right now. So do not look at the candy cane. I kind of want to cover it. It's so bad. I need to learn to draw it with like trace and pencil first and then draw over it in pen, but whatever. So anyway, I did this little border. I have my habit page. Little snowman at least is cute. So on this page, I have stamps, which I'll be showing you in a minute, little rubber stamps that are of the calendar days. And I use those every single month for my habit trackers. So I'm going to put those and decide what habits I'm going to have for this month. This is actually something I started to do more recently. So I have more, less, and goals. So on the more section are things that I want more of in whatever month that I'm starting. And then less are things that I want to get rid of in that month, whether it's emotionally or some habit or too much screen time, things like that. And then goals are things that I plan every month that stretch my abilities when it comes to my physical health, and the things that I make myself do as challenges for myself that make me really uncomfortable, but that are important in my healing journey from my illness. I'll actually give you an example from this month. So for more, I said for the month of November, I wanted to make art, write, read, journal, dance, and pray. So those are all things I wanted to do more of in this month. And then last, the only one I had this month was screen time. I can actually tell you I kind of failed at these things this month. I definitely journaled more, actually, but I would say that's the only thing I really successfully did. And then my goals for the month, I actually accomplished all of them times like 20, so I'm really thankful for that. A YouTuber I love is Cassie Paulson, and she does this in her monthly reset videos, and I loved the idea, so I stole it from her. So that's that. And then I always have the highlight of my day page and the brave moment of my day. For the highlight of my day, you can kind of think of it as my gratitude log, but it's not quite the same. I just log down my absolute favorite thing that day or something that brought me joy. And so sometimes if I've had a really bad day, it's as simple as the cupcake I ate, even though I'm not supposed to be eating sugar right now, but that's a whole nother topic. So it can be something like that. The brave moment of my day, So every day I try to do something that stretches me or challenges me, either physically or emotionally. Usually it's something that challenges me with my illness, so it might be walking further than I usually do, or attempting some new exercise in my workouts that I haven't done in like 3 years, or going in a place that causes me a ton of symptoms and discomfort, like stores. So I do that every single month too. So that's the basic overview of my pages. Sometimes I add things in as the month goes on, but like I said, I kind of want to get a little bit more fancy with it this year. I'm going to just finish working on my habits page. Good morning. It is the next day and we're going to continue on the vlog. It is going to be the first snow day here this year, so it's starting to spit a little snow right now, so it's going to be a nice cozy day. I am now getting ready for the day, and I thought I would just show a few of the clean products I've been using that I absolutely love. I have used primarily clean things for years now, but I realized lately that some of the things I have that I once was like, oh, this is clean enough, I'm like, this is not clean enough. But these two things are actually completely clean, and so I've been loving them. So I thought I'd talk about them. This is, oh, there's a hair on it, yummy. This is my deodorant. It's the Each and Every Afterglow scent, raspberry and mandarin. I absolutely love this. I was on, oh, I hate looking for deodorant. Natural deodorant, I'm sure if you know, you know. It is so hard to find a good one, and I have a lot of them that irritate my skin. So I finally had found this one. It's kind of expensive for deodorant, in my opinion, but it's on Amazon, it's easy to get, and it's completely natural. One thing I love about it is the back. It actually says each ingredient and then what it actually is. And so, like, for instance, azacharate, you know, anyway. And then it says it's actually wax. So that one I really love. It has it's just like a fruity smell. It's definitely like it has a more citrusy than berry, but I can still smell the berry in there. And then the next thing is this Attitude Coconut Super Leaves Coconut Lip Balm. I adore this. Like, I just put it on like 12 times a day because I absolutely love the smell. It is so coconutty. Oh, I could just smell it like all day long. So it's so coconutty, but it's not like that obnoxious like coconut. It's like such a real coconut, but it's almost more of like a vanilla-y coconut. So anyway, I absolutely love this, and it's actually really cool because this is a paper tube. So instead of having the twist bottom, you just like push in the bottom as you use it. It's really cool, and I've been absolutely loving it. It just feels really good, and it's a lot more hydrating than the Aquaphor I was using. It's only been snowing for a few minutes now. All right, well, maybe like half an hour. And it has already built up on the road so much. Now that I'm all ready for the day, I think I'm actually going to go outside and take a little walk in the snow first thing before it gets to be too much. And then it's harder to walk in because I don't have snowshoes. So we're going to do that because I love nothing more than walking in the gently falling snow. The sound, I know there's not really a sound, but there is, because it is just so like silent in when it's snowing because the birds are in and like there's usually not a lot of traffic, and I just love that feeling so much. So I'm definitely gonna go outside for a walk, and then later I'm hopefully gonna work on a Christmas garland, one of those like star painted ones. I don't know if I've seen them around Instagram a lot, and I just think they're so cute. So I'm definitely gonna try to make one of those today. And then I need to finish a few things that I didn't get done yesterday for my to-do list because my migraine hit harder as the day went by and I just couldn't really do anything. So hopefully today I can finally get to those things. I slept like over 9 hours, so hopefully that was me like sleeping it off. It's coming down so hard. Like, I can't believe how much we already have. but the noise or the lack of noise and just the sound of the snow falling, oh, I love it so much. It's the next day and I'm finally getting around to making the star garland for my Christmas decorations. So for that, I'm just using brown paper, my drawing pins, and acrylic paint. I thought it would be kind of fun while I'm doing this to do a little like, kind of, I don't want to say Q&A because I don't have questions to answer, but I just kind of wanted to like talk a little bit more about me, and just so that you guys could kind of get to know a little bit more of just who I am and maybe feel a little bit more connected to me as a viewer. So I'm going to do that in chat while I do this. I know the one I saw online, you just drew the stars on the paper and then colored them in with the paint and then cut them out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. They're very just like freehand style. Oh, this is bad. Hopefully this is right. But to say a little bit about me. So as some basic things, I am 28 years old. I live in New England. I have lived here my whole life, except for, how many months was it? Like 3 months. I lived in South Carolina for 1 semester of college, and to be honest, I hated it. I am a homebody through and through, and so I came home and finished at another school. My degree was in exercise science, and I was a personal trainer for years leading up to my chronic illness. So I have often asked if I would ever be a personal trainer again, and the truth is, I don't think so. I did not find the fulfillment in it that I really thought I might. And the truth is, I never wanted to be a personal trainer. I always wanted to be a strength and conditioning coach, and I was planning to go on for my master's and do all these internships. And then when I was like 24, I realized that it wasn't going to work with the trajectory that I saw my life going with like wanting kids and that kind of thing, because in that field you have early mornings, late nights, and it's like kind of a lot of work. So I decided that I didn't want that anymore, and just as I was coming to that conclusion, I got my chronic illness. How I got my chronic illness is very long, and I always plan to do a video on it. I just haven't yet because I realized that, so one day I sat down to make a video on it, and I realized I wasn't ready to talk about the whole experience because it has been really hard, and I still have a hard time talking about it and just the worst of it. And someday I definitely want to share more because I know it'll make some people feel less alone, and I loved watching videos about people who had the same conditions that I have when I first got sick. But I will say that I have so my diagnoses are not the easiest thing to explain, because if you have a chronic illness, you know it can be hard to get a real label. But I was given some official ones that I believe were correct, but I had many incorrect ones. And so I think the easiest way I could explain it is I was already developing pppd, which stands for persistent postural perceptual dizziness, the summer of 2022. And then in December of 2022, I got into a car accident where I got a whiplash and concussion. And from there, it exacerbated the problem and made it 100% worse. So I was still living, driving, doing everything. I was just getting these very small like flares of pppd, which of course at the time I didn't know what that was. I just thought it was anxiety. Everything got worse from there, and then that following June I got into another car accident, and from there it just got worse and worse. So I was diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome, but as time passed on I was diagnosed with pppd and vestibular migraines, and that is what I've been dealing with ever since. So that's kind of all I'm going to say on that for now. It's just kind of taken over my whole life for the last few years, and this channel is a huge part of my trying to recover. I'm trying to kind of document my trying to recover, and I've just had nothing to do all these years, and so I made this channel as a way to kind of have something to do and hopefully make some people feel less alone. And I always just kind of felt like I had a lot to share with the world, and I had finally decided that this was one of the ways I was going to do that. These are my stars. Not very good, but the one I saw, it was rough stars. So we're gonna hope that mine comes out okay. Oh wait, I just remembered that I'm supposed to paint them and then cut them out because that's easier. Whoops. So I guess I will keep chatting. And just a little bit more about me as a person. I have always felt like I don't know how to describe myself. I'm an old soul. I have never quite felt like I belong anywhere. And I feel like I've been often misunderstood throughout my life. And I'm a very deep feeling, deep thinking, artistic kind of poetic mind, I guess you could say. I've just never quite seen the world, I feel, that the way other people do. And in that, I felt very alone and just kind of not known how to be when you feel like you're the only person that feels something or understands something the way you do. That has been kind of my whole life. I've just always felt a little bit like a misfit. I love poetry and deep feelings and deep meaningful conversations, and I've just always felt like this world is too, like, I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm somehow better than everyone, because that's not the case at all. I just feel like I'm different than everyone. Yeah, I just totally think that I see the world through a different set of eyes, and today's like modern day and age with technology and social media, and like, I don't feel like it belongs to me. I don't feel like I belong. And so trying to be a deeply feeling, emotional, sensitive person in today's world is hard. And I feel like I've kind of stifled that side of me throughout most of my life in this attempt to feel more like I fit in. And it made it really hard to make friends throughout my life because it just felt like I could never find anyone that like I had anything in common with or that kind of was on the same wavelength as me. And so it's kind of been a little lonely. I'm a nervous laugher, so that's why I'm laughing through this. So I've especially felt that way in this time of being sick because I'm like, when you're like stuck at home and you have nothing to do but think, you think, and you think a lot, and you really come to terms with who you are and who you're not, and just the realities of who you surrounded yourself with, and just the world at large. And it has just opened my eyes and changed me in ways I could never explain, but I hope that all makes sense. And so that's a huge reason why I started to make videos. I wanted to create content that made those old souls, the deep feelers, the people like me, feel less alone. And also I do it as this way to express myself. I feel like I have so much to share with the world and so many ideas and thoughts, and I feel like I've buried them inside me my whole life, and that it was finally time to just get them out in the world. And it has been hard because I worry about what people think, and I worry about what people that I know will think. But I realize that I am here on this earth. One of the reasons I know I am here is to make people see things in new ways and to just kind of add beauty to the world and bring this new perspective that I feel like is often overlooked. That's why I feel like making a YouTube channel was kind of the way that I was going to get my ideas and myself out into the world, and hopefully connect with people that are more like-minded, because in this small town I live in, it is really hard to find those people. And so I guess I'm looking for that community of people that get me for the first time in my life. So that's kind of why I do that. And on a lighter note, my hobbies are many. I have kind of had 1,000 hobbies throughout my life. I especially am a very crafty, artsy person. I love painting. I love basically any kind of craft possible. I'm also very into writing. I love to write poetry. I like to write longer form things that are more like essay style. Journal almost every single day. I think that's going to wrap up the little Q&A session about me, but I hope that helps you get to know me a little bit more. And now I'm going to finish this and show you when it's done. Okay, this is a perfect example of who I am. So I just took a little break to let the paint dry, and I went on YouTube, and this like Chevrolet commercial was like suggested to me, and it only came out like 8 days ago, and it had like almost 1 million views. I'm like, okay, this must be good. And I cried my eyes out. Like, is this normal? Like, does everybody cry over a Chevy commercial? Oh my gosh.